gonna get some revenge, maybe. We'll see. We'll have to do some science first. So this is the site of where Tatiana was kidnapped by Scottyland and taken forever over a long, like 4-hour journey over to one of Scotty's ships. If you haven't seen that stream, you should check it out. It's right now it's just a VOD on Beam, but you should. It's pretty good. I watched it today. So I was going to do some Minecraft today. Instead, I'll do the Minecraft tomorrow, and I wanted to do some science first on here, and then see if I can get some, not necessarily revenge, but defensive maneuvers. So we're going to start with going to the Science Center. She got launched to, I saw in the VOD where there's a couple times where like there's some weird like physics in the game. She like somersaulted backwards like 200 kilometers. I'm really surprised she didn't die in the process. But okay, so first thing I want to do is I want to do a little bit of science. So first off, there's a little nuclear engine I wanted to look at. Why are these grayed out? Cannot be the first part placed. Interesting. Okay, well that makes sense. So let's start with the first part we want to place. I believe it's this guy. What I'm looking for is the next step. Okay, so actually I want an unmanned thing. Okay, so there's actually... Anyway, that's a good point. So unmanned stuff requires people. What I want is an unmanned thing. I'm trying to figure out, so that takes crew. I want the coolest unmanned thing. So this one is neat looking. Which one is more expensive? That might mean it's better. So if it says crew, I don't care about it right now. Okay, so this looks like it's the coolest unmanned thing. Also, welcome everybody. It's a Nebson raid. Welcome everybody to the stream. Thank you for the host, Zepdos. Welcome raiders. Let's do a. I think I have a raided command actually. Although I guess if I type that, it will just link to his beam, which might not exist. So I won't bother that. Okay. So we're doing some science. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to start with an unmanned little computer. And then I want to find out, there's this nuclear engine. So despite the big scary trifold painted on the side of this engine, its radioactive exhaust, the tendency to overheat, let's see, no, okay, so what I want to do is find out, so is this using liquid fuel or is it its own fuel? It's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so what I want to do is find out, does this thing propel itself? Or do I need to give it fuel? I guess for this computer to work, it's going to need a battery. So let's put a battery on here. We'll see if see how this works. So we're going to put this battery on the bottom of that and attach this. So this thing is our test rocket to start. So this is just going to be our test rocket 1. So test 1. Save and go to launch. 1. Does this take off at all? Hey Salsa Doom, welcome. We're doing some science first, and then we're working on getting our revenge from Scody. So we want to, I guess, throttle up. SAS is on and go. Okay. So it does not have, so it does use liquid fuel. Okay. So what is the purpose? Why is this thing good? If I didn't already say it, welcome JB Warsmith. So what I'm trying to find out is, so it's atomic. Why is it better? Why is this a thing? I was hoping that it was just going to be like a kind of a junky rocket that used radioactive stuff to go. To run solely on liquid fuel. So I guess... So let's compare these two. What numbers change? So if we have... So it's a little bit heavier. And it has a lot less thrust. And it's super expensive. Okay, when I click on it, okay, so I have more information. So, let's compare these two things. So, this one, yeah, they both give out electricity. This one has more thrust and it uses that more liquid fuel. Why is this nuclear engine useful at all? Why is it so expensive? Anyway, so it's not quite what I was hoping. Does anybody know, anybody play this game and know why this nuclear engine exists? Alright, we're going to take this off. So, the next plan is... if I give it a regular fuel... So, it might not... I mean, it's a pretty small engine, so it's probably not going to really take off. But I just want to make sure that this is how we understand it. So, this is the test 2. We're going to launch. Thank you for the host, Celsa Doom. Alright, so throttle up, SAS on. Go. Okay, so it's trying to go. It's not a very powerful engine, so it can't actually push up this weight. And you use up the fuel fairly fast. Okay, alright, well that's good. All these good tests. Alright, let's try. Alright, let's go with... so now I understand that better. I was hoping that it was going to be a fueled... an engine that wasn't very powerful, but didn't actually require any fuel. Okay, so the next thing, actually, you're right. Next thing I want to test is what happens when it crashes into something. So let's give this thing an actual engine that can do something. And then a fuel tank that kind of matches that. So get rid of this. Oop, no. Get rid of this. Put this on top. Oh no. And then put this on here. And then can I attach this somewhere? Here, let's do this. Okay. So obviously, that thing's not going to really work right. But it's mainly just, I want to test, I want to see what happens when it crashes. I want to see if it's a huge explosion, is what I'm looking for. I want to see if, when this nuclear engine runs into the ground, does it blow up big? Oh, I'm using both engines. That's interesting. And actually, there's more ground this way. So let's go this way. Because if I go that way, I might run into the ocean. That's no fun. So we're just going to head this way, and before we run out of fuel, we want to head for the ground. So there's no people in this, so I don't have to worry about, you know, hurting anybody, any virtual people. So does this blow up bigger than normal? Nah, it's about the same. Okay. Oh, that was good. Good test. Okay. So that blew up. That's fine. That was expected. Alright. So, unfortunately, I can't make... I wanted to make a really big bomb. But that seems like it's not going to happen. So, what we're going to do then is let's start over. So, this is going to be our main... Whoa. Yeah, I'm going to just attach this on like that. I guess we want batteries involved here. Sorry about my dogs. Not much I can do about it. They must be, somebody must be walking along the road or something. So let's attach a couple of these to make sure that they have some power. And I think we can probably, let's go one last, and then we'll put some solar panels on there just to make sure that we can keep our charge going. Oh, it's the big. And we'll have 4 just to cover our directions. We'll attach some fuel tanks. Your team dog. All right. And I guess before I get too far with this, let's make sure that this thing will actually take off. So I want to put a couple more fuel tanks on here, I think. That might be too much, but we'll try it. And then I want to put a big engine. Which one was it? This guy. Right. So does this take off? That's the next test. So test 4. Does this take off? Save. It doesn't look like it's actually attached there. But I think it's attached. We'll see. So does this take off, and how high does it get? SAS on, throttle up, and go. Does not take off, too heavy. Okay, good. So let's go one less fuel tank, and then see if it takes off. Or I guess actually, oh, okay, we can add to this. We will add some boosters. So there's kicks we can add on. So let's add, where are they? These guys. Actually, let's try adding these guys on. So there's ones that will stick up more, and we want to add a bunch. So we're gonna add these on, and this will help us get off the ground. I'm not doing... If you're trying to learn how to play this game, this is probably not the tutorial you should watch. Right now I'm just kind of goofing off. The other videos that I have on YouTube are much more like regular playing the game and being successful missions. I feel like that's wrong. This is kind of just goofing off. If you missed it, Scody, last night, I think it was last night, he was streaming and he kidnapped one of my Kerbins that I had in space. I keep on just missing. And so this is my sort of my retaliation. It's still not right. Alright, I'm gonna do this. Okay, that's nearly right. And now I'm just gonna use the move tool because trying to drag him around didn't really work. So if I do this, I think that will make it work. No, that's still not quite right. Let's go with moving this way a little bit. Okay, I like that. That's perfect. So, does this get off the ground? He used the poisonous potato. Yeah, right. So let's see if this thing takes off. So I guess actually before we also need to add in some struts and nose cones. So we want little nose cones on top of here, and then some stability struts, which are somewhere. Okay, good. So we can just add these to try and make this thing a little bit more stable. We'll add some going across this way. And then down below here. And this is the test 5. Does this launch? And can I get it to roughly orbit? So, that's clearly not right. So we should probably have the the detaching. And actually, we don't want to. No, that's fine. So I'm going to fire both engines at the same time. And then at some point, when these ones run out, I'm gonna ditch those ones. So SAS on, throttle up, go. So it does launch. It was slightly unstable, and also I have very little control, possibly because of the thing. But I can't really rotate this at all. We'll see. We'll see how high we can get. See if it gets sort of like an orbit, and then go from there. I have a feeling that this won't work out too well. We'll see. I'm gonna throttle down actually, but that doesn't help because these solid rocket boosters will just go full steam. Yeah, I mean we're doing okay. Once these drop off, we'll see if we can still continue to go up. But right now I can't really... Oh, I can actually, okay. I couldn't earlier. I wasn't able to change my angle at all. looks like we're going too fast for this speed, so there's a bunch of fire, so we'll see if this gives problems. And we're going to detach those. Okay, they detached. Great. Awesome. So we're going to try to fix... That's interesting. Now I can't change this at all. It might actually... I need to add another command pod, actually, without a person, but to be able to give myself controls. Because right now, I can't rotate. I can't use... Q and E don't do anything. So that's going to be a problem. But, so looking at this, if I could actually do that, which I don't know if I can I do an orbit? Do I have enough fuel to do an orbit of some sort? Here's my test. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, I wasn't able to gravity turn. And so this is my... Alright, we'll see what that's like. So aim for the maneuver node. Can you actually aim for maneuver node? Probably not. So the burn is fairly long. So I think if I were to actually be able to... If I adjusted this, it might work better. So I'm going to let this thing do its... It's eventually going to go up and then crash. That's fine. We'll just let it do its thing. So now we're going to adjust the test. I'm trying to... this is slightly longer than my normal stream time, but I'm trying to accomplish a lot of science. So I'm going a little bit speedy. So we want to detach that. Oh, I'm sorry. We actually want to detach this. And then we are going to not include people, but we do want to have the ability to rotate our ship. So I'm going to actually attach that on with no people. And let's see if this behaves any better with trying to do angling. So it is the test 6. We'll go to lunch. If there's a person, I'm going to go back. Okay, no people. Good. So we want to move this back up to be in the right spot. SAS on, throttle up, and go. So now that we have this, in theory, once we get up to 6,000, I'm going to see if I can angle tilt towards 90 degrees is what my goal is. So we'll see if that works. I might just do it when these run out, possibly, because I don't want... I'm going to be attaching more stuff on here later on. I don't want these to end up, running into the stuff other stuff I'll have on the ship. So we'll just go full throttle for now. I'll wait till these run out, and then I'll try to do my angling. Maybe. I'll try now. Okay, so now that I've attached this thing, I can do some angling sooner. Even though I don't have any people in there, it still works. Customer incoming. Okay, sorry, I missed that. Have fun. Have fun with the customer. Okay, I still can't really... Actually, I can't Q or E with this ship. Okay. Well. Alright, so we want to... Oh, I guess I sort of can. It's just not very responsive. Okay. So we're going to work on doing... We don't want to spin. But I'm going to work on trying to get into an orbit. So I do have a bunch of fuel still. Okay. So I think this test is good. Let's pop into this view. And so we're doing good there. I'm going to kill the engines. And then it's going to also just crash. I feel good about this ship as is. So let's go back to the Space Center. Why can't I? Why not? Interesting. I can't... maybe it's not high enough yet. There we go. Space Center. Okay. I think it was not quite high enough out of orbit. Alright. So now... now we want to come into here. So then I'm going to do my next test. Or not really my next test. I'm going to see if what I want to do will actually work. So the first thing, before I forget, is I want to rearrange these. And then I want to attach some other stuff onto my ship. So there's these ones that stick out more. Let's try these ones first. The ones that stick out less. We want a bunch. And it's interesting that they don't quite line up quite right with the other ones. And then I guess rotate it a little bit. It's weird that... There we go. I think that's better. Okay, we'll see. So then I want a little bitty fuel tank. Little itty bitty. Then let's put a nose cone for fun. No, actually, no, not a nose cone. I lied. We want these guys. And actually, I guess we need batteries. So we want batteries. We will put solar panel. I'll just put try to decide how many I want on these guys. I guess I'll just put one on either side. And then we put this on top. Will you attach? There you go. And then we want a little engine. I think that this one might be enough for when we're in space. Okay. So let's see what this does. Yeah, let's see how that works. Okay, so this is we're actually just gonna rename this. So this is the Minefield, or let's see, Basketopia Minefield. So let's save and go. Do I want a 1? I guess we'll do. No, we'll keep it that. Go to launch. Let's see if this works. I will need to rearrange. Probably my staging. Yes, I will need to rearrange my staging. Like this. Okay, SAS on, throttle up, and go. So it still goes out, it still launches. Awesome. So my goal is to make it so that there's a lot of debris and minefield above Kerbal. My only defense from Scody stealing my guys is to make it so that it's really difficult to get into space for everybody. I have a feeling in practice that orbit is big and that trying to fill it up with a bunch of bombs isn't really going to work out very well, but that's what I'm going for. We'll see how well that works. So once these run out, I'll dump that, and they'll try to angle, get an orbit, and then I'll detach these guys, and then individually I could control them to get into, in case they lose orbit or something, make it so that they're able to get into some sort of orbit that's useful. So we'll ditch all these guys, and now we will work on getting into orbit. Come on. I'm waiting for this thing to follow with me. There we go. So we should have still quite a bit of fuel left. And if possible, I'm going to try to have these things covering the whole thing. Just got home. What's the scheme? So JJ Bonsick, this is... I almost weed. This here is... I'm trying to make a minefield above Kerbal. And actually, I don't want to go quite that high, but we'll see how that works. So we're going to add a maneuver. And we'll get an orbit. So what we actually want is around 100, because that's where the SCOTY goes. And we want to target the SCOTY. Okay, so, alright, good. So, point to the maneuver. We'll see if it actually will point to the maneuver. Actually, this engine's not too bad. So, matter of fact, I'm making a minefield above... Yes. Yes, that's my goal. Is I'm trying to make a minefield. It may not really be practical, but that's my goal, is that my only defense against SCOTY is to make it so that nobody can take off from Kerbin. Easily. I'm sure people still can. But I'm hoping that I can make enough debris. Is the kind of the funny... that, or it'd just be funny to look at the map and seeing like tons of things going around. Okay, so I need to fire at... let's see, 4 seconds less than a minute, so it would be 56. Like, you're up in the stakes. Yeah, yeah. Well, he stole my guy. So yeah, 4 less, so 58 is what I'm gonna burn. We should have enough fuel, I think. So 58, go. Oh, it's a 2-minute burn. I didn't have very much of a gravity turn. Because I was using those solid rocket boosters. So it's possible this might not work out too well. Maybe. We'll see. Might work. We'll see. I might have to adjust my ship. But it's just something fun to do. I know, he brought her back. You know, he made her tumble a lot. But we'll see. My dog's might freak out in a second. So we're probably gonna run out of fuel before we finish this maneuver. But we might be in enough of an orbit. Maybe. Digital Deviant, welcome. If you just arrived, I'm working on making a minefield above Kerbin to stop SCOTY. We'll see if that works. This engine's about to run out. This is all just drones or you know, computers. So there's no. I'm not going to be harming any Kerbins in the process of trying to make this minefield. Looks like we'll still have a little bit of fuel, which is cool. And then kill it. Won't it also... Yes, it'll, in theory, if it actually succeeds, would also stop me. Okay, so that didn't really work the way I wanted it to. So we need to burn... prograde. Now. Why isn't that working? Okay, there we go. So now I have a junkie orbit, but an orbit. I have a little bit of fuel left, so if I wanted to actually take this down, I could. As a dual citizen of Basketopia and Scotialand, I am torn by all this. So is this not cutting into your... so is this not cutting off your nose to spite? Yeah, it is. I mean, it's... Again, the orbit's big, and so in theory this won't really work at all. But it might be fun to do. So next thing I want to do is move all this down. I might actually just move one of them. Can I detach these from each other? Digital Deviant, you're a smart guy. How do I make these not be in the same... Oh, there we go. Look at that. I figured it out. I'm so smart. I think. I separated... Oh no, I separated this one. Alright, so just you. So let's rotate. So that just you is on the outside. Actually, let's rotate so you are just on on the it just has a small test. So you're sort of parallel orbit to me, and this won't make my orbit be too crazy by ejecting you. And go. Oh, well that one didn't work. Look at that. It ejected all of them but one. You. Can you come back to me, please? Well, that's obnoxious. They all ejected but that one. Right. I want to switch to you. Interesting. That wasn't quite what I had in mind. Well, if I speed up time a little bit, do these things... Oh, they don't actually show up on the radar. Do I have debris turned off? What is this one? Okay, so there's all the orbits, I guess? Oh, yeah, so there's a bunch of orbits for all the different drone parts. Okay, so... Good. So all these crazy lines are all my... all my debris in their orbit. So is the rescue on hold? Yes, it's currently on hold. You can use bracket to switch between... Okay. Oh, we can use brackets. Look at that. Awesome. So what is your orbit? Oh, I can't tell because there's too much stuff going on. Okay, so what we can do... you can use brackets. That's so amazing. All right, so we're going to add a maneuver. I would like to... Oh, we need to add a maneuver further out. I can rescue more guys. I have one ship that... I don't know. Did you catch Scody's stream yesterday? Digital Deviant? He kidnapped Tatiana. And that's bad news. So this works. Right now they're all kind of clustered together, which is not quite what I want. So I think actually instead of planning a maneuver, we can just increase or decrease my orbit. So let's get to here, warp to here, and then we want actually all right. Let's warp to here. Revenge now files alphabetically above rescue. Yeah. Yeah. So he captured Tatiana. And then actually brought her back, but captured her for, you know, the storyline is stealing my science. And so what I'm trying to do is set up a minefield. I just want to see if it works. We'll see. So if I point here, and then for this little ship, this probe, if I now point, let's see. So I'm here. If I point retrograde, I can adjust my orbit. So this little guy, let's look at him. Pretty cool. So this is the mini minefield I've just created. So I mean, if I send up a bunch of these, then they'll all sort of have their own little. It'll be like a cluster of mines. So that kind of works out actually. But anyway, so I can point this, and then I can fire my engine. Sorry about my dog. Oh, I need to. That's interesting. This guy has a decoupler. That doesn't really do anything for you. So we want to fire the engines. There we go. So let's kill it, because now we... So now I've been able to... Now he's going to... So I lied. I went too much. So we're going to point to prograde, which will increase my orbit on the other side, because I don't want him to actually land. And then we'll burn. I overestimated how much oomph it was going to do. So I want to make this guy still stay in orbit around 100. But what that did is actually, by doing that, it's sort of broken this one apart. Daddy is pretty easy to pronounce, but yeah, but still. Okay, so anyway, so my idea is I'm gonna release a bunch of these into space, and so the next, okay, so now phase 2. It's the same phase. Basically, but I'm gonna see if I can load up more onto this ship. My dog likes to bark. I also have Nemson's actually still streaming, so if you don't like this game, then you can watch Nemson play. So okay, we might actually. There's not a lot of room in here for all these. What if I extend it out far? Like the other one. Can we do that? So if I do this, will that be stuck out enough? Probably. It's, again, still going to be in a stupid spot. I don't really know why it's doing that. And then we're going to rotate it. And we only put one. So if we change it to a lot, take this off and then put it back on. Okay, so I'll have to fix it again. I don't know why it's not snapping like I want. And then rotate. Just a little bit. Okay, good. So let's see if I create the same thing on that layer, how well that works. Ooh, not looking promising. Okay, so let's rearrange it. So let's ditch these for now. These are actually a little bit more powerful than I need, I think. So let's actually no, we want this thing. So let's make it so there's less. Let's see if that's enough. So we will do this. So up here, there's going to be more of them attached on there. And actually, these are all weird now. I'll manually add those in afterwards. Alright, and then I think we have another set down here somewhere. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Okay. Zoom out and go up. Now we have those solid rocket boosters there. I don't know yet if it's still going to take off okay, but at least we have more room to work with stuff. So what we want to do is attach a bunch of these. Oh, good. They do attach in a good spot. And that was the right amount? Yes. Good. So we'll see if this adds too much weight and to see if it won't be able to take off or not. Let's put it there. Actually, how tall are these guys? Alright. We'll move these ones down. And then you should be able to fit these in. Oh, my game's gonna crash, maybe. Gee. Is there an undo command? Oh no, I don't want to. Oh no, redo. Is there a redo command? Oh no. What did I do? Holy cow. I lost all that. You can duplicate. Hell, you're amazing. You're my favorite person. All right, let's put these things back on. Now that we can duplicate, we can. This will work a lot better. I can't remember how many tanks I had on there. And then we'll put the Rhino back on. Yeah, I did Control Z and it just removed it entirely. It didn't like. I mean, I guess that's sort of undo, but I wanted it to like come back into my space. All right, we want to find the attachments to add these, and we don't want. Actually, this is not what we wanted. So we want them just on here somewhere. We'll put them here, and then we want the big kicks, and they probably want to attach properly, like before. I don't really know why. And we'll fix them. I think it's not really attached in the right spot. Okay, now we will move it. I think it needs to still move. This way a little bit, and then this way. That looks safe. Okay. And now, we can use our new knowledge of Alt. Alt, just duplicate. Oh, this isn't good. We need to move this down. Oh no! I clicked on. Ooh. I'm sorry, everybody. Sometimes it's build tool. There's something else. Okay. I don't know why you're not snapping, but please move. Nope. I'm pretty sure that worked. But now you just move it down so that it's below those guys. And then we like nose cones. Wrong things, wrong things. There we go. Alright, move it down just a little bit more. Move tool, click on a thing, move it down. Okay. We're still clear. Awesome. So now, we don't want to touch those so we don't break them. And we can add a bunch of these guys. So they're also snapping in a weird spot, but it's okay. We can use the move tool. I think that's pretty good. And then we can use, it's Alt and then I click on it? Aha. Oh, it still doesn't keep the positioning though. Okay, that's fine. So that doesn't really help us in this case. I moved them in a second, so they're all lined up. Okay, and now we use the move tool. I swear, we'll get to the cool part in a little bit. So, I don't know if this is going to be enough spaced enough apart, but we'll see. Alright, now we want to click on this. No, I'm sorry, I wanted to alt click on that. So let's try not to make it freak out. We're going to put it back on. Okay, everything's good, sort of. Okay, alt, click on this. Amazing. Okay, so there's actually, it's not as tall as I thought it was going to be. But I mean, I guess we don't need to go overkill. Oh no, okay, it's tall enough. We have to worry about it. Okay. So we'll do that. And then we'll attach another one here. I guess we want to probably move this down a little bit. Like that. And then I should have used the move tool instead of, so I don't have to reposition this. And then we'll move this down a little bit. And move this one a little bit down. Okay. So now we'll go back to this. Alt, click. And to add this here. And then Alt, click. That's so cool I can do that. Alt, click. Attach that here. It's kind of, I mean, we'll see if this works. I'm not really lining it up in the middle of those bottom attachments. So I don't know. It looks like they all might. Okay, so now let's do our staging. So we have the big boosters. No, we just want to find the big boosters. Oh, actually, this whole thing up here. Okay, we just want this to be on the bottom. And then this is, we want just these. So this is the next stage. Just get rid of the big boosters. And then I think all the, oh no, I'm sorry. What is this? What is this? We don't want to, we want to move this here. And we want to move all of these in here. So like that. I guess there's probably a different way of doing this. You're off to bed. Alright. Have a good night, JB Warsmith. So yeah, actually, I lied with all this. I'm going to actually detach these at different rates. I think it's probably better. Because if I do that, then they'll be... so I can like detach them, speed up a little bit, change my orbit, and then throw out another 6. Change my orbit, throw out another 6. So detach the big guys. Detach one set of them. Detach another set. My dog. Okay, and then these are all the engines, I think. And then this is another set. So we actually move this one down as well, which we actually could have just dragged the whole stage down. But okay, and then these engines, these are all the engines, but we actually don't want to fire those with this whole thing. So, okay, so we're good. This is the, I'm going to keep the same name just so that everything stays consistent. We're going to go to launch. Just spin real fast and eject them. It's interesting. Yeah, well, they're already going to go out in a thing. So what I figure is I can send out 6. So there'll be sort of like 6 in a cluster. And then, oh god, I didn't put in struts. Hold on. Recover the vessel. I'm going to add in some struts to make this thing not fall apart. And so I can like, you know, send out 6, you know, speed up a little bit faster than the other things around me, throw in another 6, and then, you know, so on and so forth. So let's add in some struts so this thing stays together. Boop, boop. Didn't really work. I wanted a lot more than that. If I click on this, is that the nose cone, or is that the strut? Is there an easier way to try and click on just the strut? That might be just the strut. I think it's a nose cone, though. Yeah, it's a nose cone. Well, I guess that worked. Okay. Alright, so let's try it again. So we want to click on this. We want 6. Oh, look at that, it worked. Good. I mean, it's not exactly where I wanted it, but that'll work. And then let's also attach going across here and then down below. Oh, I didn't realize that engine was right there. Yeah, that's what I meant to do. I want to click. No, I don't want to do that. You're not gonna let me do it, huh? Okay. Well. Okay. Bye. We'll do that. Okay. Save. Launch. I'm being hypnotized. Nemson is doing his, like, infinite loop T thing. Okay. Alright. So, this might work. SAS on. Throttle up. Will you launch? Yes. Good. And I assume somewhere in here is also the engine on the bottom. Yeah, okay, good. So this one might take a little bit more oomph to, or actually this is -2 solid rocket boosters. And also with a lot more things. I missed it. What did you name this monster? This is the Basketopia Minefield. Because each part that will be floating in space will be called that, and then that way if it runs into somebody, then it'll say like, you know, the ship ran into, well maybe it won't actually say that, but it might say that the ship has run into, you know, the Basketopia minefield or something. That's what I'm hoping. So we're not going as high up as we were last time with the initial launch, but we do have 2 less kicks like I was saying. So we'll see. Let's just face it. We like explosions, right? So once he's run out, okay, good. They did leave me just fine. So is my ship still going up? It is going up. I am losing speed though, so I'm hoping that I will get high enough in the atmosphere that the engine will actually still work properly. Yeah, we'll see. So I'm gonna try to do a gravity turn at this point. And we'll see how that works. It might be that I need more oomph. Thank you for the host, Lapis Lori. We are trying to build a minefield to stop Scody. But right now we are... Oh, we are gaining speed now. Okay, good. We are high enough now where the engine is able to work. So this design might work fine. We'll see. But so I'm working on my gravity turn some. I'm waiting for this thing to catch up with me. I'm gonna check my Apple lapses in a second. I know the rare lapis Lori on beam. Okay, so we still have quite a bit to go. Okay. So hopefully we can actually make it up into orbit. We'll see. Alright, so that's going. So we're just waiting for this to hopefully get to about 100 before... Well, yeah, 100 before we run out of fuel. But then also... we need more fuel to get into an orbit afterwards. So I don't think this ship will have enough power to do it. I like all these lines everywhere. That's cool. Okay. Yeah, the chances are looking slim. So we might need to add more of a kick. I'm not sure how to fix that yet. I've had too much weight. We'll play it out. I mean, there's no people on this, so even if this does crash, it's not the end of the world. But I think that my ship is too heavy for the engines I gave it. Once this gets to... Yeah, it's a shame. Well, it's pretty awesome so far. We just need to make sure it gets into space more. Alright, that's good enough. Alright, we're gonna kill that. Let's add a maneuver, and let's see how much it's going to take to do that. Get this thing to orbit. Probably too much. So that's more than I need to be. So let's take a look. What's the... yeah, it's a much longer burn than we're able to really do. Alright. So, now we're going to point to... I mean, I'll try it. I'll point to the maneuver node. So I'm going to burn at 34 and a half seconds. And we'll see if that'll work. Probably not. I mean, we could also use the other engines, I guess. I don't really know how that would work when they're all stacked up like that. That's interesting. We try it. Yeah, I'll try it. Why not? Or at least I could try the bottom row. So which set is the bottom one? These guys. So we'll try using the bottom engines from the bombs to see if we're able to get into orbit by using the bombs. And if that doesn't work, then we can move on to the next set. We'll just see what happens. Might work. So we're waiting for... It's slowly increasing, I think. Yeah. Okay. This might work. If not, then we can switch to the next set. Show these guys. But well, I'll try and modify it so that I don't actually have to do that. We'll see if that works any better. So Digital Deviant with this. So when they have no fuel and if they run into another ship, will they still explode everything, or do I need to actually have fuel in the tank that they run into? Okay, well there you go. That's what happens if you have engines pointing into other things. in case you're wondering. They heat up. That's what happens. Science. All these little bars here is because I have a set of basically little ships that are attached onto the outside. So actually, I guess I could have ejected those ones. I still can. Which one is it? These ones. Right? Try to scroll down. Yeah. There. There. I got rid of some stuff. But that's not very effective for actually getting me into orbit. So this isn't really working. It's kind of the outcome. I mean, I think maybe it's getting there, but very slowly. And we lost those. So let's eject those. That's this row. So we can eject those. And then the next set of engines is down here. Oh, that's the wrong button. No, it wasn't the right. That was weird. So we want these engines to fire. Why are they shooting off when I'm saying use the engines? That's weird. I want you to use these engines. I don't really know what's happening. That was weird. I rearranged them so that I would think that they would be used, but they didn't work. So some of that debris might actually just end up landing, unfortunately. Yeah, it's just going to crash. Okay, well that was fun. I'm going to let this ship do its thing. Can I get more into... I want to point... I don't really want to worry about the ship. If I angle it just up into space, can I make it go high enough that I can ignore it? No, it's on its way down. What I want is, I guess I'll revert flight. I'll go to Space Center, and then I'll end up losing that ship. But I don't want to wait for it to crash. Okay, so I need more of a kick in the beginning to get it off of the planet. With my current design, I'm not exactly sure how I will do that. I think the answer is I should add a decoupler on the bottom, which is, I want a big decoupler. Okay. And then I want a no, I want a bigger decoupler. That's not big. I want I want a big decoupler. Which one's big? That's one I just did. That's a tiny one. Which one's the big one? Okay. Where's the size? Let's look at the price. One of these has to be like the size of... Yeah, like that. That's what we want. Okay. And now we'd add some more fuel tanks. And we add some decouplers times 4 and some more fuel tanks. Well, I guess before we can no longer see it, let's add the engine, the Rhino that's going to be in the middle. Luckily, we don't have a budget, so we don't have to worry about the fact this thing is silly expensive for just putting up some mines into space. Should work. And then if it detaches, we could be good to go. Add another one here. This might not actually take off. We'll see. And then we're going to add a bunch of struts as well. Okay. I don't know if I need nose cones there. I don't know if that's really important. But let's add... Well, we'll add some kicks if we need to. For now, we'll just add in struts. Which are here. Okay. This might take off. Maybe? Okay. So we have a big ship. We should verify... Yeah, things look good. Okay. So we want to... no, we actually want the engines we just added to be going off first. Followed by... What is this? Is this bottom engine? No. No, we don't want that. We want this. This is the next thing to go. And then we move this. We have so many things on this ship. Which one? I want the next... Okay, there, this guy. Okay. Let's move this all the way down just so we can find it. So these bottom 4 engines are going to go. 5 engines are going to go. Followed by this 1 engine. And actually at the same time, all these boosters. And then, in theory, we're in space at that point, and then we can get rid of all these other things. Okay, so let's see if this works. If not, we'll add a bunch of these rockets on the side of this. So save, go to launch. Let's see if this thing flies. It might be too heavy still. So we'll add... So now we have more external space, so we can add, you know, lots and lots of those kicks if we actually want to. So let's zoom out. So SAS on, throttle up, go. So not quite enough of an oomph to go. Will you eventually go? How long before you start going? Too low. Okay. Let's recover the vessel. So we're going to add a bunch more rockets. That's the answer, right? Not reduce weight. It's to... Oh, I guess it's still running. It's kind of funny. So let's adjust that design. We'll get a bunch of things in orbit soon. A bunch of mines. So what we want is... We want to add a bunch of these. So we want 4 of these there, and we want 1 here, and we want 1 here, and then we're going to attach these. Let's try and see if we can position them properly. And then here. Can't tell if it's really attached or not. Not that it matters a whole lot. Nope, that's the right one. Kind of sloppy. But that might work. Okay, let's just see if this works. So, actually, I'm sorry. We're going to add struts. Because I know these things don't really like to stay together. So we will add struts here. Oh, it didn't work at all. What did you attach to? Here to here. And here to here. And then here to here. And here to here. And then, just to be extra safe, we'll go from here to here. And let's see if that thing holds together at all. Save. Go to launch. In terms of escalation of hostility, is the next step for Scody to build a Death Star. I want him to build a Death Star. That would be sweet. A big space station Death Star. Okay, so throttle up, SAS on. Will you take off? Go. Am I even... Actually, did I... No, I'm sorry. I messed this up. We should move these down. Well, I'll just cover the vessel. The boosters I just added are not in... Hey, Scody! How's it going, Scody? What are you up to? What is my devious nemesis, BasketMC, up to? I'm not doing anything at all. Yes. It's possible I'm building a minefield. I just need to get this thing into space first. We already have 6 mines in space. We just need to get the rest of them in space. So these boosters should actually be part of going. And then we want these boosters to also be part of going. And these ones stay. These boosters should also be part of going. The game didn't think I should do that. I want to scroll down. Can I scroll down? Okay, let's see if this thing will take off. Save, go to launch. By possibly, he means certainly. Yeah. Okay, let's see if the thing will take off. The game's thinking about it. Okay. So we're SAS on, throttle up. Will you actually go? Sort of. Close enough to going. Oh, I also didn't really check my detaching. That's good enough. I mean, really, these should be down below. I'll rearrange them. Actually, they should be on a stage because we might run out of the solid rocket boosters early. So we should find them, move them down. Or wait, sorry, move them here. There we go. And then there should be one more set. Right here. Can you scroll down a little bit? Scroll down, scroll down. Okay, there we go. Now we're set. So this next stage is getting rid of our solid rocket boosters that we just added. Revert and fix. I fixed it. We're good. This thing is really slow. But we almost sort of made it before with this. So we'll see. Once the solid rocket boosters run out, we'll ditch them, and we'll see if the thing is still going to go up. That's the next step. Did you actually still keep on going up? So they're out. Detach. Oh, you didn't all detach. Which one didn't detach? Oh, some of these actually might not be attached to those decouplers. Oh. So we are still gaining speed, which is good. I'm going to try to angle a little bit, and we'll see if we spin. So what are you going to do? Slow me to death? Yes. I will bore you to death. Is the plan. I can't really see. Let's scroll down here so we can actually see how much fuel we have. Okay. I think this will work. It's not the best right now, but I think I think this might work to get me into orbit with this machine. Yes. Yeah, we're not getting a lot of speed. Once we ditch this whole bottom section, because this next decoupler will get rid of the solid rocket boosters that are stuck and all these big fuel tanks. So, I think this will work for getting me into space, getting me into orbit. And then we can set up our minefield. And then Scody and everybody else will never make it back. Yes, it is impressive. I tried to make atomic bombs, Scody, but the atomic engine doesn't blow up as big as I was hoping. So that didn't really work out. You missed that science. I made a missile that basically went up and then I aimed it straight down and I wanted it to like nuclear explosion, but what looks around everything. All right, so let's see how our orbit is. So we're still working on going into an orbit. Okay. I didn't hate you until you kidnapped Tatiana. So okay, so this is gonna detach in a second. We'll see if it blows up. I think it shouldn't because we just have this one detached in here. I think we're good. I'm using solid rocket boosters in space. Does that even work? I don't know. Okay, get rid of that. Turn on the other engines. We can't throttle down, so hopefully that's not a big issue. Can you turn off these engines? Can you turn off solid rocket boosters? Guess I didn't really think that part out. So I guess actually right now, next time I launch this out, I can actually probably remove these solid rocket boosters from this level. Because now we're about to hit, and I don't know if I can actually turn them off. I guess we'll find out. So, okay, so yeah, we can't turn them off. Okay, so we're going to ditch them. We're fine, and then we throttle up. Oh, actually, we're. I think we're actually okay. So I do want to. I want to fix my orbit a little bit. Actually, that's good enough for now. We'll get into an orbit, and then I will fix my positioning. So what is this? Okay, so we want to go a little bit more, a little bit less. We're aiming for about 100,000 because that's where the Scodies live. Okay, that's good enough. So we want to aim for the maneuver node. How much of my stuff blew up? I think I'm actually okay. Looks like basically everything held it together. So we're good. Explosion and KSP is music to... Alright, so we're going to... Alright, this is our maneuver node. We're going to burn... Yeah, but no, why not? So let's pop into the map view. So I'm going to get rid of those solid rocket boosters. They were just trouble. And then that would actually give me more room for mines. So that kind of works out. So if you see all this cluster here, I'm actually close to my other minefield, which doesn't really help me for coverage, I guess. Oh well. Yeah, that's where Scodies live. Is 100,000 meters out, or kilometers, or whatever it is. Meters. Okay, so we're working on getting to our orbit. We'll still have some fuel left, which is good, I guess. And then we'll kill this once we have a proper orbit. I might adjust it so that I'm around that on a regular orbit. But yeah, this is my other minefield. Debris is around here. Is this one falling? Oh, this is, I'm sorry, this stuff is all from my ship just now. Okay, so where's the other one? Oh, I see. So this is where the other minefield is right now. Okay. Cool. I thought I was really close to it. I guess not. Alright, we're almost done with the burn. And then we'll see how this works. Can't see anymore. Okay, that's good. So So now I want to add a maneuver here. Get rid of this. Add a maneuver. To reduce this a little bit. Perhaps the possible Democratic Republic of the Sand People accepts immigrants from far-off lands whose leaders are having World War III. Possibly. Okay, that's good. All right, so we want to get to that maneuver. Warp there. Point to the maneuver node. I guess I could put lights on this guy. But doesn't it look cool, Scody? This is what you've made me do. So my goal is to fill up all of orbit with a bunch of these. Alright, point to the maneuver node, please. It's a very short burn. Let's verify these are okay. These are all good. Here it gets everywhere, and I like going places. It does look amazing. Thank you. You missed. It's over here. Please point to the right direction. Basket has advanced his science. Let me make sure I don't have to burn. The paraphrase, the shadows is Babylon 5. Hardship encourages progress. Yes. So we're going to burn pretty quickly. So I'm going to burn now. We're trying to look for... I'm sorry. We're trying to actually look for this side to be lower. So we want this to be about 100. So I'm just going to eyeball it. Okay, that's good. Thank you. Alright, and now we are going to launch some dudes. So we want to point prograde. We'll get there. We'll get to prograde. And it's any day now. Should I wait till I'm in the sun, maybe? I feel like I should wait till I'm in the sun. I think it'll look cooler in the sun. If I had lights on it, that might be neat, but... Come on, sun. You can do it. Alright. Sun's coming up. Let's go a little bit more on the sun. And then we will point to the right direction. I can't go that fast, I guess. Okay. Point to a prograde, please. Oh, I was already in the sun. Oh well, whatever. So point to prograde. We'll see how this works. What I'm thinking is I can burn the main engine a little bit, just so that I'm going. Oh, it looks like I lost a couple engines, which is fine actually, because I probably won't really use them. How's our time? Oh wow, time flew. Okay, so, right, this is our dude. So we're gonna burn the engine a little bit. So it's gonna increase our orbit, but we're gonna see if this works. So we're gonna burn the engine a little bit. Launch the first guys. And then launch the next guys. So I guess if they were in order, it might have looked cooler. But... So now there's a minefield. Take that, Scody. Kill the engine. And now there's a big, huge bomb, too. So there is the minefield in this particular section. So if we zoom in, they're all kind of clustered together at the moment. But we can actually... they all have computers and engines. So if I wanted to try and like actually space them out manually, I could. But I don't want to. So what I could potentially do, since I'm going to get rid of those big boosters, is I might be able to actually put in more into the main ship. So we'll just leave this guy running. He's like a big minefield. Let's go to the Space Center. Let's see if we can adjust my design. Oh, I'm going to have to probably go in a little bit. I might be able to actually run a little bit later than I had planned. Who's taking over after me? Do you remember the schedule? I actually have it up right here. So I'm streaming. Okay, so actually there's dead time for an hour after me. So I might stream a little bit longer. I have a plan already. Okay. Well, I mean, what I could do is while you're playing, I could pilot one of those and then actually just try to aim for your thing. Yeah, there's a schedule. It's posted on Reddit, on our subreddit. Okay, so let's pop in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to arrange them to be so they launch out at the same time. But I'm also going to remove these and then the related little part here. And I can go back to this sort of design actually if I wanted to. So let's remove all these. And then we will put them manually back on. There is a break. Yeah, right. Okay, so let's put a thing. Wherever it is. This guy. Right. Yeah, see, it snaps weird. I don't understand. That's right, I guess. So put that there. Alt, click on it. Oh, actually, that's not quite what I want. I want a bunch. The dogs are a bit noisy out over there. Alright, so I'll put this. So I might now be able to stream light, I guess. Okay, I don't know if that really attached right. I think that worked. Okay. And now again. And then Alt, click. And Alt and click. I'm sorry, that's not Alt. This is Alt. Alt and click. So we'll make some more mines. And get this thing attached. I'll fix my staging. And we'll try to launch one more. See if I have enough time. You can Alt select at a decoupler and yeah, I have to try and aim for the decoupler. That seems unlikely. Oh, this isn't actually, that's the engine. Okay. Good. I like it. Save, go to launch. No, fix my staging. So we want this bottom stage to be all these guys. Yes. And then we want the next stage to be get rid of the boosters. And actually, yeah, that's right. Some of the boosters are not properly attached. So let's try to do that. And then these ones might not be attached properly. Okay, I think that worked. Okay, so now we want the decoupler for those guys to all be in the next stage. Can you hear my dogs? I might move them in here if they're being noisy. Okay, then that stops. And then the next engine. And then, what is this? Right, that's fine. And then we get into so what is this? Oh, these are these guys again? Down here? Oh, we want you down here. I feel like there's more than these than there. Anyway, whatever. So then we have a bunch of different ones. So we actually want these separated out. So the bottom ones, awesome. Followed by next one's up. Followed by probably the next one's up. Trying to scroll this side thing up. Followed by next ones. Followed by the next ones. And I think we're done. And these are engines that I won't actually use. Save. And go to launch. Will you take off? I think you'll take off. I believe I've reduced the weight. And I've also gotten rid of those extra rocket boosters that I couldn't control. I have added more of these guys though, so maybe we'll see. SAS sound, throttle up, go. Okay, so this will take off once the solid rocket boosters are done. And we'll work on trying to do a gravity turn. And we'll see how that'll work. But yeah, so I like my. It's almost like Saturn with all these orbits. Okay, anyway. So you can't hear my dogs, then, you were saying? So once they run out, I will get rid of those. Hopefully they actually detach this time. And then I'll work on getting into orbit, and then we can do our cool... they should all be now in order, so that they'll detach, both of them detach, etc. We'll see how well that works. I'm about to get rid of this all, guys. Okay, and go. Oh dear. I think that I think that the big engine detached. Interesting. Huh. Okay, well, I don't want to wait for this thing to fall. Space Center. Interesting. Let's look at our staging again. Yeah, there's a big explosion there. Let's go back here. Let's double check our staging. So, they all went. The next thing should have just been that all these guys detached. But for some reason, this guy detached. And then ran into my ship. Interesting. Maybe it's spacebar twice. I don't know. Alright, you gotta go to bed. Alright, well thank you for coming. Have a good sleep. I'm gonna try it again just as is. And then we'll see what happens. I don't really know. I'll double check my staging also out here. But I feel like that should have worked the way I did it. I think it's very positive that you are channeling your hatred into... So, it's positive pursuit. Okay. Alright, SAS on, throttle up, and go. So let's double check. So this next stage is oh yeah, this is actually detaching. Alright, so let's change this angle. Yeah, so this is detaching, not the solid rocket boosters. That's why it looks so weird. So I have these 4 on the outside, and then 1 more in the middle. They're all going right now. And so with this stage, what I did is detach these 4 on the outside while they're still going. And then they were lighter than the rest of everything else. So then they shot up and destroyed everything. So we're fixed. So once they run out, yeah, we'll get rid of the solid rocket boosters. And then we'll try to get in orbit, and then I'll try and see if I can deploy these before I have to head out and work on dinner. So cool. And I might, when I'm actually launching them, I'll change my angle. I think if I'm at the front of the ship looking towards it, I think it'll look cooler. Alright, so this probably won't blow up in a second after I release these solid rocket boosters. Okay, and release. Whew, okay, everything's fine. Alright, so now we're going to work on our angling. Trying to get a little bit of gravity turn going without freaking out. Trying to be as optimal as possible. That's going pretty well. If I actually doing this to the Mun would probably be more efficient because it's a smaller place, so I'd be able to have more orbiting like mess. But when you take off from Kerbin, usually we're always on the same little orbit. So this is sort of more efficient for maybe actually having a collision, but I'd be able to cover more ground if I did the Mun. But that's all right. Let's check out our orbit. Okay, we're still working on it. So then pretty good in our fuel. We'll probably switch before we get all the way up on this, I think. But our gravity turns looking pretty good. Yeah, looks like we might ditch these shortly. So what did you miss? I had some staging issues, so there were some explosions. But I fixed that. I've gotten rid of those boosters. I think you were here for that. Got rid of those boosters and put in more landmines. Or, I guess, space mines. So we're going to kill the engines shortly. Once this gets up to 100. But our gravity turn is looking pretty good. It would be funny if I ended up running into my landmines while I'm trying to play my landmines. The beautiful rings up right, exactly. So add a maneuver. And let's make this be an orbit. Can't wait till SP plays the game again. He's been like, what on earth is all this mess? What did you guys do? Alright, maybe a little less. A little less. Oh, I lost it. Come back. Okay, that's good. So maneuver node. Pretty sharp burn. It's deciding not to go to the maneuver node. There we go. You can do it. Just hoping the server can handle all these. Yeah, we'll see. It's a test. How effective is, I don't know if you can hear my dogs now. No, they're fighting downstairs. My wife is doing her daily burn. So they're locked in the basement right now, because otherwise they cause problems. They're like, oh, you're exercising. Great, let me jump all over you. I'm sure that's what you want. So 25 is when we'll burn. Not using spacebar. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. We have quite a bit of fuel left. Still in these engines, and then we have the next engines the next engine if I wanted to adjust afterwards. So I think the ship works out pretty well. It deploys quite a bit of mines. It does waste a lot of money in general, but we don't have to worry about money. So once we get to 25, we can do the burn. Okay, burn. A while ago. And then once those run out, we will switch. This should all be right. Okay, and switching. Engine. That was exciting. Very dramatic. Okay, let's take a look. So this engine will be plenty to get there. It's kind of hard to look at when you turn on. If you turn off the debris, it's a little easier to look at. That didn't work, actually. What am I looking for? These things. So if you turn off whatever that symbol is. But we're doing good. Quite a bit of fuel left. In fact, with this craft, I could probably also do the Mun if I wanted to. I think I might have enough to get to the Mun. I won't. Because I think this is a... I think doing more and more above Kerbin is probably a better way to go. So once this gets to 100 on the other side, we will kill it. And then we will get into the sun. We will do our cool cinematic deploying of mines. And then I will end the stream. Let's double check our fuel. Doing good. I could actually rearrange that last stage so that it doesn't freak out as much, probably. But it's okay. Okay, we're coming up on our orbit. Almost there. I need to know. It's taking forever. For having a rhino on the end of this thing, I feel like it should be a little bit more efficient. But I guess my gravity turn might not have been as good as I would have hoped. Maybe. Alright, so this is still around 100. So once the other side gets around 100, we will stop it. I guess I could have sped up this part, maybe. Never tried that. Let's zoom out a little bit. No, we can't. Okay. Let's not zoom out. Okay, we're watching this guy. Once he's at 100, we will kill it. I'm ignoring the maneuver because it's possible that the maneuver is behind, which it is. So we want this to be up to 100. Just thinking about it. I should, I'm going to kill the engines actually. What I'm going to do is I'm going to point prograde. Yeah, it isn't quite what we want. Alright, so let's add a maneuver. Let's fix the other side. I think because it switched engines and whatever other factors, my orbit planning wasn't quite... Okay, so now we're going to aim for the maneuver node. Oh, that burns really soon. Can you get to the maneuver node in time? Probably not. But if I start burning, it's possible that it would correct itself fairly quickly. But I think it's starting to get there, so we'll be able to get there in time for the burn at 5 seconds. At 5 seconds before T. Almost there. Okay, we'll make it. All right. So 5 seconds, we'll do our burn. We'll watch this guy go down, and then stop it once it gets to around 100. And it's go time. I might flip like around so I won't be able to see it very easily, so I'm also going to watch my maneuver little thing by the nav ball as a indicator. Okay, good. So now we're awesome now. Okay, so let's point prograde, I think. Then we want to get to the sun side, so let's speed up time a little bit. Let's get to sun. And that's good. Point prograde. So we have some sun on the front of the ship. And our staging should be good. Yes, I like it. You ready, Scotty? This is your no entry to space. So once I point to prograde, I will begin deployment. Actually, I feel like I want to be more sun. Let's go to more sun. You can't cage this bird. I'm an eagle, and I will soar above your efforts. Okay. That's good. Alright, so we will... How are we going to make an International Space Station if we stop playing the game? Okay, so let's go into this view. Ready, everybody? So we'll see if this works. So I'm going to deploy them, but not actually as close as I was just doing. I'm going to space them out a little bit more. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I want to throttle up. Because otherwise it won't really go very far behind me. It's working pretty well. This is about what I wanted. I'm reporting prograde, so that's going to make me increase my orbit, I think, or decrease. Might be decreasing, actually. What does this do when I do that? What am I even looking at? Oh, F2, F2. There we go. Okay, it's increasing. Alright, that's fine. Take that. Alright, so now I'll just leave this big bomb there too. It's less likely to run into this, more likely to run into the big scatter. Welcome back. So I've successfully made a thing which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 8. Is there 8 of them? Yeah, I think 6 times 8. Whatever that number is. I forget. So that's my minefield. So this ship launches up. I get in orbit, and then I can deploy sections of mines that go out here. And if I want to, I'll actually have computers, fuel tanks, and little engines. So if I wanted to actually individually like change the orbit of them or whatever, but just as it is, I'm able to create a minefield. So if we zoom in, here's it right now. If we go a little bit faster, they'll probably space out a little bit more, because when I launched them, I was going. So they're going to be spaced out more and more as we go. Right now, they're sort of together in sync, I guess. But they're sort of spaced out on this side of the orbit, and I guess they'll kind of come back closer together on the other side. But that's sort of my idea, is that these guys might... And so I can set up a bunch of these and do the same sort of thing, where I'll get it in orbit into a spot where there probably isn't other mines, and then I can keep on going, turn on my engines, deploy, move a little further, deploy, move a little further. And then chances are, it's possible. So here's another minefield on the other side of Kerbin right now. So then it's possible that, that you might run into it. But so each of these little clusters are actually 6 or 8 mines in a circle. The server is going to die. That's possible. And so what I'm curious, right now they're spaced apart, but I'm curious if it gets closer to when I originally deployed them, if they actually come together, or if they will just sort of generally be at different speeds. Because then that'll sort of tell me how I might want to deploy them in the future. Not before I unveil my ultimate plan. Okay, so it looks like they do stay actually spaced out. And actually they might even stay more spaced out over time than this. So if we speed up time. Yeah, so it looks like even with that little tiny bit of velocity and time in between them, they've actually spaced out. It's interesting that my ship is behind them right now. It's kind of weird. I would think that I would be going... I thought I increased my orbit. I guess maybe I decreased my orbit. Okay. I thought I increased my orbit. I guess I was decreasing my orbit. So I guess that makes sense that I'm behind. So these guys might space out more, and then maybe they'll run into people. I don't know. But then again, so I can individually do those. So it's possible that while Scody is actually launching a mission, I could take over one of those and then try to aim for his ship as like a as a seeking drone. But chances are I'd miss anyway. But anyway, so yeah, so that's my Basketopia landmine plans, and that worked out pretty well. Pretty good stream. I would not say such things if I were you. Yeah, I don't think that I would be able to, even if I wanted to. I don't think I'd be able to aim a ship. Like I have no idea how I would try and dock. So I have a feeling that I wouldn't be able to try to like intercept your ship. But yeah, anyway, so that's that. And then if you see over here, there's the same sort of idea. So I'm just gonna fill up the skies. And so this is this one orbit, just the main orbit. But I could bring up some that are going in like an orbit like this or like this, and so I can try and cover more ground. I'm going to spend send my five fastest ships. Okay, all right, cool. All right, so anyway, that's the end of my stream. Thank you everybody for coming. There isn't a follow-up stream right after this, but in 38 minutes or so, Run Wild is going to be streaming on his Twitch stream. So if you aren't already following him, you should, and then check him out. And then half an hour after that, I believe Scody is joining him. Don't tell anyone I said this, but you are an awesome dude. You are awesome, dude. No, thank you. I won't tell anybody. So yeah, so that worked. I was really hoping for nuclear explosions or like, something like that, but this worked out pretty well. And I like that I can actually individually control these if I wanted to. So I can try to change targets. Actually, so that was a kind of a cool thing that I learned also, Scody. So if I come into this view, and I'm gonna slow down time. And if I change, so they're not actually close enough. If you can use the, oh yeah, they're not very close at all. Let's switch to. So I'm at this probe now. So this is one of the 6 probes in this cluster, I think. It's interesting. It's actually spread out more than I thought it was. Are these all the same cluster probes? I guess so. Huh. Okay. So I guess they do spread out quite a bit. That's interesting. But so with this particular guy, I could change his approach, but then I can also use the curly brace to switch to the ships nearby. I didn't even know this was an option. So these are all the ships nearby. So if I wanted to, I could, switch through them and then like change their orbits and make them be less clustered together. But this current thing, I don't need to actually worry about it. So these, like, I can just like get the main ship into orbit, deploy them all, and then they end up in in this sort of like noise pattern or whatever, like where they're sort of going along here. I guess I could have actually deployed them a little bit closer together, maybe. But anyway, so it's fun games, fun toys. Okay, so that's the end of the stream. Thank you, everybody.